Hi, Alyssa. Yes, yes, you indeed, you are close. We're not there yet. There's actually a lot of work to do, but you're pretty close. Let me just start this, and I'm just going to take a look, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that I see and that I'm thinking about, and I'm just going to kind of approach this like I'm looking at this um, as I'm looking at. I get many, many hundreds of portfolios here at my studio every year. And I look at a bunch of portfolios, and I teach a bunch of portfolio classes, and I also review portfolio for AIGA Cleveland um, for Student Portfolio Review Yearly Design Committee. So that said, I look at a lot of portfolios, so I know I think I have a really good cross section of what most people, most design professionals and employers are looking for when they're looking for portfolios, and that changes year after year. So I'm just going to kind of go through this, okay, and make my comments, kind of think out loud type thing, okay. This is really overbearing, and it's dead center, and it's not showing a real good command of the finesse of using white space. In other words, you've got your name in the middle of a big giant circle. The circle is so big because you've locked your decision into using a circle. Okay, and it's really apparent, and we see it again right there. That's just too big compared to the way your name is and the way your address is. Okay, so the big circle's out. It's not working. This is why it's always. I remember back in week two, I started suggesting that you guys, meaning the group of students that you're taking the class with, think about designing a monogram. Do you remember that? And it was my suggestion that you design a monogram because it's so easy to work with. So I still want you to think about designing a monogram. It's easy to do. It'll get you a much better grade in this class, and you can change it on the fly. A lot easier to change this because once you put that big circle in there, man, you're locked in, man. Your limit. You've cut your limits. You've created limitations on yourself on the versatility of said piece. Okay, see what I'm saying? So I like to see and then think about this. When you design your letterhead, try to be as versatile as you can. You see this right here? This looks like an afterthought. My idea is to do this, to design your letterhead like this. Your monogram up here, or your very simple designer's logo up here, okay? And then down here at the footer, it's like a little footer where you have all of your contact information. That way you can use this thing over and over and over and over. You can use it for invoices, you can use it for cover letters, you can use it for resumes, thank you letters, and a billing invoice, and so on and so forth. So it's the versatile, the simple decision of moving that down there is going to show that you understand the versatility of using this page over and over. Okay, this is good. This is good right here. Okay, but this is good too. This is a critical error right here. Right here. I look forward to hearing from you. You just shot yourself right through the heart because this, at this point, is going to be taken and it's going to be put in this pile over here to be referred to later, if you know what I mean. You never give your reviewer a task ever. It's a huge mistake. Listen, I'll be in contact within a week to see if you've had an opportunity to, and if we and discuss the possibility of further meeting, something like that. Never. I look forward to hearing from you. Never. Okay. Super, super critical. That has got to be changed. Um, Letter's not dated. Okay. So as what I was saying before, once you design your letterhead, it won't change. Once you go back to these pages right here, see how things jump around like that? It won't change it because it'll be on the same document. Over here, this is pretty good, but I think you're just trying to squish everything here. And this line right here, you don't need it because that line is going to be implied anyways because you have the right alignment here, the left alignment here. My suggestion is to move that over a little bit, but this is a really, really good idea to create this sidebar over here. Great idea because you can fill this in as your experience grows and you can edit it as such, getting rid of the old and adding new. You know what I mean? But this is just too congested through the middle here. So I would get rid of that guy. And try to cut the BS. Manage client social networks, and then you say Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. We all know what social networks are. You don't have to tell us. That's out. Things like that. Create and enhance documents to look visually appealing for the clients. I mean, look, you're going to have designers looking at this, okay? So don't try. You know what I'm saying? I mean, either you designed something or you didn't. But don't make it sound like, you're visually enhancing things. You know what I'm saying? And if you are, reword it, man. Say you designed it. If you designed it, then say you designed it. Create television and radio scripts for a client commercials. That's important, stuff like that. That's anything that has to do with creativity you want in here. So that's a smart move. Managing the website, that's a smart move. See, I think the content is good. Public relations campaigns, worked in human resources department. Let's find a way to beef that up. I've got my bachelor's is in business administration. One of my bachelor's is in business administration. And I'm going to tell you something. It came in really, really handy in my career, and it comes in really handy in my career. So I would like you to enhance that. It looks like you've got a BA in Mass Comm from UNIV of New Mexico, and that's awesome. So, I mean, push that. Try to get let's get a good relationship going between what you did here and what you've learned and used there and how you're applying it to design. This is good. Get rid of this swirl. Don't need it. Again, don't center this. This is being centered here. Your type is going to do this. It's going to make everything anchored go boom. Watch every page I go to, you'll see the same thing. Everything is just going. It's such a heavy anchor down here. Most pages you don't even look at the work. You're just kind of going. You're going and looking down at the bottom because it's so heavy. You're being drawn there. My suggestion is get rid of this swirl altogether. I mean, it's good that you changed the color, but get rid of it altogether and do this. Remember that monogram we were talking about? Well, once you create it, you can start using it on your page. All you have to do is put it up here or down here. And then you can take your type for each piece and move it over here. Okay, so there's your type, there's your little monogram. Okay, and then take an imaginary line and draw that area right there, okay, and use that for your grid and place your items accordingly. Okay, and that's it. That's all you need. And this looks proportionately incorrect for a number 10 envelope. It looks really, really, really long. You would, well, not probably, you would never do this. It just costs too much. The cost is too much for a startup for them to, and one of the things that you're showing here is that by including this, and one of the intangibles that an experienced professional hiring or a design professional hiring will look at this and say, this person doesn't understand the cost associated with this decision right here, which is not even, it's an irrelevant decision, unless you're printing, 50, 60,000 envelopes at the same time. It's cost prohibitive, okay? And again, let's keep that work inside that little area. Oh, great. Now my computer's froze. Okay. Inside that little area that you decided on that other page. Okay. This piece looks good. I have a suggestion. Anytime you show a piece with a white background on a white background, just go in here and go through your piece and just a no fill and just a hairline black stroke so we can see where the edge of, because right now we can't really tell where the edge of the, well, we can, but you'd want it to not have to guess, you know what I'm saying? Okay, piece looks good. You know, a trick here is you could do this, and you know, you have your area you're going to use your grid. You could put your magazine right here, okay, and then you could take a close-up of this and put it right here, and then a close-up of this and put it right here. That way you're using the whole grid. You don't have to just be stuck looking at one piece. Same comment there. Work looks great. The work looks pretty good. Look, this thumbnail, stretch this 2 pages. There's plenty here. I'd like to get a little better look at some of those. So take a whole page. If you have to rescan these or separate these somehow, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like when you rescan that, pull that out with Photoshop, present it separately, pull that out, present it separately, pull that out, present, you know what I'm saying? So we have a nice grid of your sketches. This looks good. This looks good. Too close to the edge there. Watch that space we defined. Again, looking good though. Forget this whole thing. Let's scan in here. Get that. That's all we need to see. We don't need to see the blank part of a graph paper. Oh, that's all we need. Pull those out with Photoshop and show us those. You know what I'm saying? The important part, those. This piece looks good. I don't know if this is the best way to present it because we're just getting stuck right here. Nobody's looking at the cool type on the cover. No one's looking at the cool type on the back because we're getting stuck in the hourglass, and it's that simple. Try to figure out a different way to present these. Maybe even put this page first and say cover, and then put this page over here and say back page. Somehow separate those because you're never ever going to have a chance of anyone looking here when you have this crystals in this hourglass. It's just too visually heavy. This looks good. What is this? I was wondering what this is. Get rid of this. It's just all you're doing is showing the same thing over and over. It's not publication. It's not a thumbnail. It's not anything. So don't try to pretend that this is something that it's not. Okay? So if that's the case, get rid of it altogether. That piece looks good. Again, you got this part right here through here and then up through here, which that looks like a mistake. And that's why we do that hairline stroke. So that little area right there that's supposed to be what you call it, part of the side of the page is getting cut off because it's white on a white background. See what I'm saying? I'd replace this piece because, wow, this video is too long. I'm so sorry. I just looked at it. It was 14 minutes. Do a different Photoshop piece. Do one where you have a before and after because these are clearly different. I mean, just do one where you do a complete color correction. Okay. Everything else is looking great. I got to cut this short. Sorry I took so long. Thanks.